So I had a little bit of a shopping day on Saturday. Went and picked some stuff up. Thought I'd show you what I got. This came in today. Clown in a Cornfield. I've heard a good amount of reviews on this. This is Adam Cesare, I think is how you say it. Cesare's. It's kind of a YA slasher novel. So I ordered Clown in a Cornfield and Clown in a Cornfield 2. So I'm looking forward to those. I'm probably going to add these to my 100 list, 150 list, 100 plus list, almost 200 now. No, it's over 100 for sure. So I got that in the mail. I also ordered this. It came in a bundle, and it was like, I don't know, $10 or something for all three. So the first one was that was part of it, is collecting science fiction and fantasy. This one I wasn't really super interested in, but it was part of the bundle. And the other two I was interested in, so I figured why not. It was almost the price of ordering one book by itself. So this is kind of cool. I don't know much about it. It says it makes you an instant expert. So there you go. You'll get some wealth of information coming up shortly then. As soon as I read it, I'll be an expert on all things science fiction and sarcasm, apparently. This was part of the bundle that I wanted. Science fiction, the 100 best novels. I thought it would be fun at some point, or challenge myself at some point to go through and either collect all 100 if I don't have them already, and or read all 100 together in one shot and kind of check them off. It says it has a foreword by Michael Moorcock, and there's just a great variety of books that are in here. I mean, there's Dish. Oh, and I know I have a couple of these already just by glancing at it. And I know there's some I don't have just by glancing at it. So, a lot of on the list. Gene Wolfe, Book of the New Sun, things like that. So, I'm going to have fun going through this, checking off what I have, looking through and seeing what is needed that I don't have. So, and then also a similar one that's like it is Horror 100 Best Books. And this goes up to, I think, 1990. Yeah, so it's like the older ones before the 90s. And then I ordered also, that's on its way, the Horror Top 100 that's like remade for like the 2010s or something like that. So hopefully it's not just a straight up duplicate of this, and it's actually a revised top 100 best horror books of all time. And I didn't realize that I ordered that one, and I actually ordered the same thing a second time. I also ordered The Troop by Nick Cutter. I heard this is a very good horror book, and it has some good body horror in it and things like that. So and I've heard it's pretty intense, so I'm looking forward to that. And I also, when I was on my way down to trade in the paperbacks or to sell the paperbacks to get, store credit to be able to buy stuff, I stopped by a Barnes & Noble. I found this. This is all 4 of the Dying Earth novels in one volume from Jack Vance, and I don't have this complete set. So, as much as I would love to have this in the older copies, the vintage copies, I still want to read it and haven't been able to because I don't own them yet. So now I own them, and I can add it to my list. So I'm excited for that. I saw this one. This one is right up my alley with everything I love about space horror, sci-fi. This is Dead Silence, a salvage crew with unspeakable horrors. This just sounds like Event Horizon. And so I read that and I'm like, I'm in, done, I'm buying it. And I can't wait to read it because that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And then I saw this, Nick Cutter, the guy just bought, The Troop. I don't know anything about this one, but I thought I'd take a shot since the other one had such good reviews, and I believe this is a new one. So I figured, you know what, I'm probably not going to see this come up in thrift stores or anything anytime soon, so I might as well grab it while I'm here. And then also the Hellhound Heart by Clive Barker, and this one is what inspired the Hellraiser movies. This, I believe, is a short, so it's got super giant print, and this will probably be a really quick I mean, it's 100 and like, I don't know, 155 pages, and it's like, you know, that's some big bold letters. So probably will burn through this one really fast. Not trying to speed read or anything, but I'm guessing that's going to be an easy, engaging, fast read, and I'll probably read this one at night because with the big giant lettering and words, I'll be able to read it by the light of my nightstand a little easier. So moving on. So on the first stop I went to Goodwill, and I'm just going to show you everything I found at this Goodwill. Some of it's good, some of it's nothing special. Anne McCaffrey Dragon Quest. I have tons. I have a giant box of just Anne McCaffrey sitting over here. I don't really know what to do with, but the only ones I tend to grab now are the older vintage copies that I can maybe complete sets with. Let's see. Goosebumps Most Wanted. I have been just kind of collecting all the Goosebumps, not for personal collection, but to sell either on eBay or on whatnot. So if somebody's interested, I have tons and tons and tons of Goosebumps, Magic Tree House, things like that. Buffy the Vampire Slayer Watcher's Guide. I actually have this same one. I grabbed it again. There is a kind of a cult following for Buffy still, so that somebody's going to want that either on, like I said, whatnot, or eBay. Lavinia by Ursula K. Le Guin. And I kind of just grab anything I see from Le Guin. She has done some like children's novels and things like that. This one says the inspired novelist has turned back toward the past and written one of the finest novels she has ever made. So I'm not sure when this was written. It looks newer. And this is a 2008. So fairly newer copy, and I haven't heard anything about this, but maybe somebody out there has and can let me know about it. This one I grabbed, Texas Gothic, Rosemary Clement Moore. I don't know anything about this one either, but it looked interesting, and I remember reading the synopsis and thought it would look kind of cool. Another hardcover from Marion Zimmer Bradley, The Firebrand. This one's in really good shape. And I have enough Marion Zimmer Bradley to build a castle with. But hey, what's one more? And then of course I found Stephen King. And I always grab Stephen King regardless. And I don't know. Let's see, Billy Summers, you're going to be over here. I don't have a hardcover, so boom, this one's swapping out for my paperback. And I will put the paperback up on whatnot. So, boom, boom. A bang, bang. I went to another bookstore because they told me at one point, down, like way back when, that they do buy books. I went there and they basically said they only do it on Mondays and Fridays now. And this place was packed with books. Packed with books. They're just wall to wall, top of the bookshelves, on the floor, stacked in stacks in front of the other books. I mean, so they're probably not buying too many anymore, I would guess. But I did find some good ones. Oh, I found some good ones. Oh, I found some good ones. So, Piers Anthony, The Color of Her Panties. I'm gonna leave that one there to hang in the abyss. It's a Xanth novel, and it's Piers Anthony. James Blish, Titan's Daughter. I don't have this one, so I was very excited to grab this one, and I got it for $4, so that's a pretty good deal. I paid up for stuff here. I got some Dawes, another Marion Zimmer Bradley Dawes. I kind of pick up if I see them no matter what, if they're reasonable, if they're like overpriced. This one was $2, so it'll go on whatnot for $3. So if it sells for $3, I'm making a whole 50 cents off of it. It's not nothing crazy. This one, I hadn't seen this one in particular before. This one was $3, so maybe it's a little bit rarer, and that's why they marked it up $1. I don't know, but it's in really good shape, as with the other one. It's in very good shape. Seedling Stars, James Blish. I do have this one, and I couldn't remember if I had this copy. I know I have the copy with the weird guy on the front with stuff inside of him, and I didn't remember which one I had, whether I had this or not, and so I figured I'd grab it. It was $3 also, so that's not bad, and I haven't read it yet. It's on my I don't know if it's in my list. I thought it was. Maybe it's not, but it's still something I want to read at some point. Here's some good ones. Now, I'm not going to tell you why this one is so important to me, or maybe not important is the right word, but why this one is a favorite find of mine. But the God Engines by John Scalzi. Look at this. This thing looks phenomenal. It's in absolutely perfect shape with a Mylar wrap on it and everything. It is not a library copy. This is just a protected wrap by someone. And I am super excited for that one. So that is on. I'll probably start reading that one after I finish the 2 that I'm reading right now. So I went up to the counter, and I'm just looking there, and I'm like, hey, looks like you got a bunch of books over here. And I'm looking at them, and I'm going, what about those ones that are all sitting right next to you? Here, there's just stacks of books all the way down. And they weren't out on the regular shelf. And so I'm like, hey, can I take a look? And I look, and look what I find. Philip K. Dick, Flow My Tears, The Policeman Said, Daw, in basically perfect condition other than some sun fading on the spine. It's not even bad. It's just light. I can tell it's there. Killer find right there. I think I paid $10 for that one though. So that one I paid way up for, maybe even a little bit more, but that's not something you find every day. And then this one, this is something you never find. Never, ever, 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 ever. Very rarely. Very rarely. Piers Anthony. What's it gonna be? There's a couple really rare ones. Piers Anthony. Pornocopia. Good old Piers Anthony. I didn't find the magic fart. No. But you can't find this really for, I don't know, probably less than $35, maybe $30 on eBay, something like that. Maybe even 40. I know Magic Fart's like 50 plus on eBay, so it was pretty cool to find. And excited for that. I don't know if I'll keep it because it's not something that I really like. I haven't even read what it's about. Just doesn't sound like something that interests me. So I had mentioned before that I went to trade in all those paperbacks, so I had credit, and I still have credit left over from what I traded in, which is very cool. I think I got like $30 left or something to go buy whatever. And since it's like an hour and a half or hour and 20 whatever away, it's in Santa Rosa, California, if you're from the area or familiar with it. I'm not telling you where though. No. But since I don't go down there very often, I don't get to go through their whole library and clear it out and then hope that something comes in every week or something like that. Every time I go, there's new stuff that I'm excited about because I haven't been there in a couple months or something like that. So let me show you what I got there with my trade-in credit for books that I knew wouldn't sell, didn't want to mess with, maybe had sat on eBay for like a year and they were only like $5 anyway. All right, so here's what I got with that, the store discounts. These are kind of what I handpicked off the shelf that they had there, basically. So Hellboy movie tie-in. I just thought it was cool, and I love all these kind of tie-in ones, and I'm pretty sure I don't have this one, so pick that one up. Vampire Journals, Tracy Briery. This is probably going to go on Whatnot. It is a pinnacle horror, super duper good condition. I'm not really into vampire stuff, but I know Pinnacle Horror is great, so pick that up because thinking I might be able to flip for a few more dollars. Batman Begins tie-in. This is one of my son's favorite. Well, not this one, but Dark Knight, one of my son's favorites. So I grabbed those, thinking he might be interested in reading them as well. And so we'll see whether he does or doesn't. But either way, I wanted to add them to my list. So another one, Constantine. I don't have that one. It's another tie-in. That's by John Shirley. John Ferris, The Fury and Terror. I have The Fury, and so this is a direct sequel to The Fury. And Fury's on my list to read, so I figured I'd grab this while I found it. So that if I liked The Fury, I would be able to continue on. John Saul, Hellfire. And this is a Bantam. The other one's a Tor. I grabbed Later by Stephen King. I don't think I have Later. Psych, I do, so that's going on Whatnot. Bird Box. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it might be a good book. I have actually not heard a single thing about this. I haven't heard anybody say they read it or anything, but I did really enjoy the movie. And thought it was very creative, along the lines of like, kind of came out with like Quiet Place and all those other ones at the same time. Got some good Lovecraft. The Dream Cycle of H.P. Lovecraft. So this is Dreams of Terror and Death by Lovecraft. And I have a bunch of these, like some of the ones that are in some of these. I have them all in individual books, but you know, I kind of like having a little bit of everything from Lovecraft. I think The Tomb is in this one or something, one of those. Maybe Shadow of Innsmouth. But here's another one. The Best of H.P. Lovecraft, Blood-Curdling Tales of Horror and the Macabre. I would guess The Tomb is in this one. And I know I have probably 3 copies of The Tomb. No, I don't see it. I'm surprised. Okay. Rats in the Walls, Outsider, Call of Cthulhu, Dunwich Horror, Color Out of Space. So there's Innsmouth. Yeah, there's some good ones in there. So I have not heard of this. Necroscope Invaders, Brian Lumley. This is a Tor horror. This seems to be kind of the end of the series. It's like an add-on to it, and there's a few more in here that I found. So like this is number 5. I think I found like one. Oh, we'll get to them. I know I found a few, but I didn't find all of them. So that's 5, and there's apparently that's the 6th one after it. So we'll see. Here's another Tor horror, Ramsey Campbell, Sun Midnight. Pick this one up, and this is with that credit I was talking about, so kind of a good deal. I just picked up part 2 of Under the Dome because I happened to find part 1 the other day, and I was like, well, heck, Under the Dome part 1, who's gonna want that? Because, you know, why would you want to read half the book and then not be able to finish it? Happened to find number 2, so perfect. Can put them together, sell them that way. When I'm shopping and doing things like that, I'm thinking about what stuff that I would want, stuff that I think people would want on Whatnot, as well as looking for things that I think will be better on eBay. If I'm going out shopping for Amazon, books that are going to go directly to Amazon FBA, I am doing those other things at the same time, but I don't do Amazon FBA while I'm specifically looking for the other things. If that makes sense. I have to be in the mode to like go there and scan a beep, 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 beep. And then as I see something I think is good, then I'll set it aside even though it's not FBA worthy. Here's another one, The Tomb. So Tomb and Other Tales. I'm pretty sure I have this one exact copy here, but I didn't want to pass it up. I think my Lovecraft's over there, though. Yeah, it is. So, I'm pretty sure I have the exact same one. So, one of these will be most likely on Whatnot. Another copy of Color of Her Panties, Piers Anthony. I don't know why I thought maybe that would be something that people would laugh at and want. Batman Forever, another Batman one. Wait, is this the Clooney one? No, that's the Kilmer one, right? Yeah. This one was much better than the Clooney one. And we'll see how that goes. But I grabbed a lot of those for my son as well. Another Necroscope, The Lost Years. So apparently this is a long standing series, and I thought, it might be really, really good. So I actually have never found a copy of Firestarter, Stephen King, which I'm really surprised at. So I finally have a copy of Firestarter. I know the new show the new show is out, and they also have done some updating to the book, or just put it out with the whole movie tie-in, Will Smith cover kind of thing. So I'm excited for that. And it looks like I have space to put it up there right now because I took some other ones out. So, yay. So here we go. We got, here's another one of the Necroscope. This is number 4. 4. Here's another one, Defilers. So I don't know all what's in the series, but I'm kind of excited to look it up. And it's they're all Tor. John Scalzi, Head On. I think this is the 3rd one in a different series. This is not from... maybe this is standalone. But it's not part of Old Man's War series or universe. There's a couple that I think are standalone, and then there's a couple that I think are part of another universe. And this seems to be like a Deadly Game kind of, like probably a better Hunger Games. That's my guess. Robert McCammon. This is Gone South. This looks to be newer. I don't know. Feels newer. It feels brand new, so maybe it's just the feel of the book, but 1992, so I guess not that new. But this thing feels like pristine, as if it was... I mean, you got some fading or something right there, but the feel of it is as if it is brand spanking new and just came out of the store. So, here we go. Let's get some more. Zoe's Tale, John Scalzi. I'll tell you this, because it's not... This might come out first, I don't know. But one of the books I read in January was Old Man's War. So I'll tell you that, at least, so you know why I have a few more Scalzis in here. That may give you a clue of what I thought about the book. Brian Lumley, same guy. This is The Last Aerie. The Last Aerie Man. And it's the sequel to Blood Brothers, which is right there. And Brian Lumley is the one who did all these Neuroscope. So clearly somebody was really into Brian Lumley and turned in all their stuff at the paperback place. So now I've got it all. And I don't know how good it is. We will see. Here's that copy of Dark Knight, the Batman one. And this is novelization by Dennis O'Neil. And obviously Christopher Nolan did the movie. It's my middle son's favorite movie of all time. Well, maybe it's closely tied with something else, actually, back and forth. This is another Brian Lumley, and this is Blood Wars. This seems to be a vampire one. I don't know if it's part of a conclusion of the Vampire World trilogy. I'm looking. Maybe this is part of that Blood Brothers, Last Aerie, and maybe this is the 3rd one. So I gotta look more into it. I didn't have time. I got there and they were closing in like 15 minutes. So I flew through the shelves since I don't get to go there very often. And I had well over $100 in credit. So I was like, just grabbing. And I still got some credit left, which is cool. Robert Heinlein, Assignment and Eternity. They don't take really older copies there. I don't know why, but she said we don't take stuff if it's older unless it's really special or something like that. But somehow they have this one there, and so kind of good. I don't know if I even have that one. I'll have to look through all my Heinlein books and see. And Resident Evil 0 Hour. This is 0, and I have 1 through 6. So if this is still in that same series, I can add it to that. And I don't know if this came out beforehand. I'm guessing this is an add-on after, like a prequel that came out way after. It's 2004. I have over here the first one in that series to read for my 100 plus challenge. And so if this happens to actually be first, maybe I'll read it first. And then lastly, I picked up there a good copy of Salem's Lot. And so this one is in pretty decent shape. It does not have the embossed. This is not one of the embossed ones. Some of them have that embossed cover. It's flat, but it's still a good copy. And some of these can go for decent money. They're not crazy, but some of them go for a decent amount because this is the second book that was published by Stephen King. So it's been around for quite a while. There's been movies made, shows made about it, things like that. So that was my haul from that bookstore where I traded stuff in. I went to one more Goodwill. So I went to this Goodwill. Had to go fix my daughter's phone. She dropped it in some water. It's a brand new iPhone, and didn't know she dropped it in the water. Went back from the park that she was playing at, and was back at the house and realized, oh no, I don't have my phone. Pinged it on the Find My iPhone. Realized it was at the park. Went back and found it in the creek. So I had to take it down there, and where I live, there's nothing around where they fix iPhones. We're out in the cuts over here, and so nearest like sort of bigger cities about 25 minutes away, and they didn't have any iPhone repair place, so the next nearest place was about an hour and a half away. That's why I went down there and visited. So while I'm there, I'm going to get some stuff done. I'm going to go do some book hunting, things like that. So this is all on the same trip that I took last time to trade in books and stuff like that. I kind of try and kill two birds with one stone. Well, I ended up going to another Goodwill, and this one had tons of shelving. It had probably like 6 or 7 large shelves full, and also a back wall full of books. No order, no organization whatsoever, randomly thrown on the shelves. So I went book by book, one at a time, while we were waiting for her phone to be done. So here's what I found. Frederick Pohl, Beyond the Blue Event Horizon, hardcover. I think this is a sequel to Blue Horizon, or Event Horizon, excuse me. And because there's a first one called Event Horizon, I believe. Doesn't say in here, but this is a hardcover, perfect condition. I don't think I have this one. We'll double check. Tracker by C.J. Cherry. This is hardcover, but does not have the dust jacket. It is a foreigner novel. I have several, but I don't believe I have this one. This is 2015, so it's much more recent. Some Shatner. I have tons of these William Shatner ones, and I probably will just put a big fat bundle on eBay. I don't think I'm going to get too much interest on Whatnot for Shatner. Maybe if someone's really into Shatner or Star Trek, let me know. I'll hook you up. Just let me know. I'll hook you up. All right. Actually, if there's anything you see, let me know and I'll hook you up that you're interested in. All right, so some Star Trek Blish. I have a lot of these. I didn't remember which ones I had. I thought I was missing like 1 or 2 of them, so I just grab them no matter what, because people are going to want Blish anyway. Tarzan the Magnificent. I don't think I have this one. This is like 21, and I have most of the ones from the early ones, like 1 through 10. I've never found this at a Goodwill ever. Probably because we don't have Goodwills around me, so I don't go to Goodwills very often. But some Daw, and I actually found quite a few Daws. This is number 49, Sons of Scorpio. I found a lot of Burt Acre ones. Savage Scorpio was there. Some Lynn Carter under the Green Star. Some Lynn Carter by the light of the Green Star. I know there's even more Daw in here that I don't have right in front of me, but Flyers of Antares. And what's crazy is I have just found all these and sold a bunch of them on Whatnot not too long ago, and they're a lot of the same similar ones. So Bladesman of Antares. Another Star Wars Timothy Zahn. I only pick up the ones with Timothy Zahn or the ones that have a compilation, pretty much. There's a few others I'll grab, but I have a bunch of these. So Ursula K. Le Guin, Wizard of Earthsea, and these are newer printed ones. And then the other Wind, which I think is the last one, or 6. It's number 6, so I think it's the last one. And this one's first. So I need the ones in between. But I did find some more Le Guin in here, so I'll sort those out in a minute. This is all at that Goodwill. I could not believe it. Heinlein, Podkane of Mars. Some of these I've never heard of. Double Double, John Brunner. It's a Ballantine copy. I've never seen that one. The Gentle Giants of Ganymede, James P. Hogan. Oh, here's some more Daws. So, Warrior of Scorpio, Golden Scorpio. This one I have not had yet. Check it out. Michael Moorcock, the Rune Staff. 4th and final volume in the history of the Rune Staff. Crozar of Kragan. Tides of Kragan. When the Green Star Calls, Lynn Carter again. And that's all the Daws right there. But I can't believe all those Daws were at one Goodwill. Fred Saberhagen, the 5th book of Lost Swords. I have a lot of Saberhagen. I just didn't know which ones I had. So, but I don't remember ever seeing that one. So I thought I'd grab it. Maybe it'll complete a set for me. Agent of Terra, number 1. By Larry Maddock, the Flying Saucer Gambit. This is just a older sci-fi novel. I don't know much about it. I don't know him. It is 1966, and then the cover is by Sergio Leone. For those that are into cover artists, very much so. Men in Black 2, tie-in novel. I have the first one, so now I got the second one. My collection of all sci-fi is complete. Log 1 by Alan Dean Foster. I actually came across this the other day for the first time, so I have 2 of these now. And Star Trek number 1 by James Blish. Pretty sure I have this, but in case I didn't. I think he only did up to like 12 of them. It looks like 11 right here. And then New Voyages is after that. Joe Nesbo, The Snowman. I know he did a few of these Inspector Harry Hole novels. I saw the movie. The movie was good. I'm pretty sure I actually have this somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So figured I'd pick it up again, and if not, somebody else will probably want it. This one might be in that top 100. I remember reading that Kate Wilhelm was in that with some novels. And so I'm kind of hoping this was one of those top 100. It's Where Late the Sweet Bird Sang. It's a Hugo Award-winning best science fiction novel of the year. So I figured that, if one of hers was in that top 100, that it was probably this one. And I was going to pick it up anyway, but Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So just an illustrated Indiana Jones. I just grabbed, I didn't even look it up. It may or may not be of any value on eBay or something like that. Sometimes these go for, you know, $5-10. I haven't been wasting a lot of time on eBay. Shouldn't say wasting. I haven't been spending a lot of time on eBay listing stuff, so I need to do that. Been working full time again, so it's been pretty exhausting in the evenings to do stuff like that, and I've been spending a lot of time making videos and doing things like that, and so I'm neglecting other things. You can't do everything. Earthsea, there's another one of them. This is number 5. So I know I have some vintage copies of 2 and 3, but I don't know if I have any of number 4. As the Green Star Rises, Daw, another one, Lynn Carter. Avenger of Antares, Daw, another Dre Prescott. Captive Scorpio, another Daw. I cannot believe all those Daws were at one place. It's kind of incredible. Gordon R. Dixon, The Alien Way, not part of the Dorsai, but he wrote Dorsai trilogy. Some other ones, Ancient My Enemy, things like that. Soldier Astronaut, Tactics of Mistake, Dorsai. So, all right, Weapons of Chaos. Book 1, Echoes of Chaos. This is Robert Vardaman. I have the Centaf series, things like that from Vardaman. And so I found book 1 and book 2, so figured I'd grab those. I like finding sets like that, complete things. So Arthur C. Clarke's Venus Prime. This is number 2, and I have a couple other ones that I've gotten in some book bundles that I've purchased. And so I don't know how many are in this little series that was created, but I know there's at least 3, and I have at least 3 different ones, so I'll have to check whether people need them by the bundle or not. Another Star Wars Slave Ship. This one was book 2 of the Bounty Hunter Wars, and I know I have some other of the Bounty Hunter Wars, that's why I grabbed that one. Oh, Anne McCaffrey, Dragon's Eye. Couldn't pass it up. I should, but I didn't. Dre Prescott, Werewolves of Kragan. I don't think I've had this one. If I did, it wasn't this cover before. So, and I grabbed this fantasy and science fiction magazine. I don't usually pick these up, but this is a special Paul Anderson issue, so I thought that was pretty cool. And I have a ton of Paul Anderson. I tend to kind of keep every Paul Anderson I have. I mean, I don't keep duplicates, but I keep, new ones that I haven't come across yet. And there's like Dean Koontz and Asimov in here, and Blish, Dixon, Paul Anderson, and Karen Anderson. So there's a lot of good authors in here as well. So I figured it'd be good to pick up. And that can go up there with Mr. Paul. C.J. Cherry, The Fated Sun trilogy in an omnibus edition. So this is very cool. I have a good amount of C.J. Cherry, and I tend to find these omnibuses. Time Scoop by John Brunner. Check that one out. A Pandora's Box Full of Evil is what it says on the back. I have not seen this one before, so I'm pretty excited for that one. Thongor at the End of Time, Lynn Carter. And I don't think I actually have this one, Guardians of Time by Paul Anderson. If I do, it's in some other cover that I don't know about. So that one's going to also go up there for me to check and see if I have. Isaac Asimov, The Universe from Flat Earth to Quasar. Star Trek, The New Voyages number 2. Not sure if I have those ones, but another Blish, Star Trek 3. I don't know about this one. It just looked, it's Vikings, so I had to grab it. Hakon's Iron Hand, Eric Nielsen. And I have some random Viking ones, and I'm not sure if this is part of that or that fits or not, but It may fit into some series that I have. Okay, Pride and Prejudice Zombies. Thought somebody would be interested in this one. I actually have that same copy of my own. Paul Anderson, For Love and Glory. Not sure if I have it. It will go on my check and see if I have it list. Star Wars, The Tales from Jabba's Palace. This is by Kevin J. Anderson. And I've come across these quite often, actually. The Land of Oz, L. Frank Baum. I have I have probably 5 different ones or 6 different ones that I've never seen before, but they've all been showing up recently together. So that's kind of cool. Colorado Kid. I have a copy of this, just a different cover. And I figured I'd pick it up because another book that I read in January was Colorado Kid, so I was going to kind of review it, and I think maybe after I review it, somebody might want to read it, so I'll throw it on Whatnot. Lynn Carter, Eric of Xanthadon. Look at that cover. And that. Josh Kirby cover. It's very cool. So some more DAW. And speaking of Gordon Dixon from earlier, Tactics of Mistake. Naked to the Scars. Naked to the Stars, I mean. Another Gordon Dixon, The Outposter. Stephen King, Misery. Very cool cover on that one. I like that cover a little bit more than the movie tie-in one that I have, so I'll probably swap out the movie tie-in one or the movie novelization, whatever. Another DAW, Secret Scorpio. Can you believe all these were at one spot? This is what I found them. I found 4 at the beginning, and I was like, I gotta search the whole place now. Swordship of Scorpio. So I spent like 2 hours there. Manhounds of Antares. Renegade of Kragan. Armada of Antares. Then I found Nancy Springer, The White Heart. And I don't tend to grab too much in the fantasy department anymore because I have so much. But it had a cool dragon on it. Clive Barker, Cold Heart Canyon, with a peekaboo cover, as my daughter calls it. Peekaboo. Aldous Huxley's Island, the new major novel by the author of Brave New World. This one's kind of trashed a little bit in the back. Actually, it looks like a printing error because the pages are like longer. This isn't damage. It's actually the pages stick out over top. Jonathan Kellerman, Blood Test. I know Jonathan Kellerman has 10 billion books out there, but this was a vintage one, so I figured I'd grab it. Bishop's Landing, Richard Forsyth. And this is a Leisure Occult. I'm not a super fan of occult stuff. Not really a fan of occult stuff at all. Neil Stevenson, The Confusion. And this is volume 2 of the Baroque cycle. So I have Snow Crash, I have Anathema, I have Quicksilver, and Confusion. So R.L. Stine, Fear Street. So Last Scream. Another Star Trek Blish. This is number 2. So I'm hoping that if there's one I'm missing, I'll find it there. Paul Anderson, Planet of No Return. I have never seen this cover, so hoping that's one I don't have. I hadn't heard of this one. Haunting Novel of Terror, Romance, and Intrigue. Ravensgate, Deirdre Rowan. Deirdre Rowan, so I grabbed it because it was a vintage copy. I don't know much about it. I don't know anything about it. And I don't know why I got this one, but Piers Anthony, Ogre. I have the hardcover and a paperback of this already, and sometimes I'm dumb. Okay, I don't know anything about this person. Hopefully somebody does. I thought these covers looked fantastic, so that's why I grabbed them. It is Chuck Palahniuk. Chuck Palahniuk. Not sure if that's right, but it is Beautiful You and Tell All. And these look really interesting. So I don't know if they're any good. I don't know anything really about this person. I don't know if they're horror or if they're just thriller. So I kind of figured, you know what? I found them side by side like this, and I went, oh, same author. They both look nicely designed. Maybe I'll give them a shot. So grab those ones. And here's a Pride and Prejudice Zombies Dreadfully Ever After. So another part of that. This is the sequel to Pride and Prejudice Zombies. Arthur C. Clarke Tales from the White Hart. I actually have this in hardcover, but I have a paperback also, but the paperback is trashed. It's like got tape on it and stuff like that. So picked up that other copy just cause. Some Spear Wielders. R.A. Salvatore. Another Anne McCaffrey, Dragon's Dawn. And I have a bunch of these already. Like I said, I'm stupid. I'm a stupid sucker. Alright, so another Oz one, The Road to Oz. This one's like number 5, I think. Yep, book 5. So that goes with that. Mind Wizards of Callisto, Lynn Carter. I actually have, I think there's only 4 in this set. Jandar, Black Legion, Sky Pirates, Mad Empress, and Black Star. Is this an even later one? I don't know. Oh, this is 5th. Okay. So I have at least 4 out of the 5 of that already, but I do have that one. It's a duplicate. Grab some Ender Shadow, Orson Scott Card. I kind of just picked those up regardless because somebody wants them usually. So if I could pass it on for $3 and make a buck on it or whatever, then, or 58 cents, and get it in somebody's hand that's wanted it, then that's fine with me. It's worth it to me. This is the conclusion of the Ender Quartet, Children of the Mind, Orson Scott Card. I have all these ones. I just haven't started them yet. I was thinking of starting Ender's Game with my daughter because I'm trying to pick something to read with my kids. And my son and I are going to start War of the Worlds together, and I was thinking we'd start maybe Ender's Game. But she's in the middle of reading Hunger Games and Cinder, which is like a fairy tale sci-fi. It's kind of cool. This whole series on like the princesses from Disney, but they're like robotic and things like that. So kind of neat. I don't know the full details on that, but H-Beam Piper, Federation Piper. This is like he's done like Little Fuzzies, Fuzzy Sapiens, Space Viking, things like that. So H-Beam Piper has some great stuff. Andre Norton, Stargate. I don't think I have this one, but check out that cover. Look at that. That's phenomenal. Look at that horse. That's cool. So I don't think I have this one. I haven't sorted through my Andre Nortons in a long time, and I just kind of keep putting them all together in one spot. So I'm sure I have some duplicates. Larry Niven, Neutron Star. I'm pretty sure I have a copy of that one already. If not, Spoils of War, Alan Dean Foster. I have, this is the Book of the Damned series, and I think there's only 3 of the Damned series. And I think there's only 3, and I have multiple copies of all of them, so maybe I can put some of those together. I gotta spend some time sorting and putting stuff together. That's one of the reasons I wanted to go get rid of some books that I knew I wasn't going to deal with. It's just, it takes time, takes space, because you got to spread everything out all over everywhere, and It's kind of exhausting. And this is a Dragonlance Kaz the Minotaur. This is volume number 4. Some Dragonlances do good, some don't. I grab them anyway most of the time. Grab this one for my daughter. Hunger Games, the tribute guide, just a guide to all the different tributes. Pretty cool. She has a lot of Hunger Game collection. She has pop figures and posters and all the books and all that stuff. And she's reading it right now. The movie series is her favorite series. So anytime I find cool little stuff like this and she was interested in it and wanted it, I'll pick it up for her. It's kind of breeding that little collector mentality when it comes to books and stuff like that. So Poetry of Robert Frost. I've sold this on eBay before, and I sold it for probably 20, 25 bucks if I remember right. Somewhere in there, maybe 15 to 20 bucks. So I swooped it up. Might as well. Things like this usually do pretty good. Minecraft, a little hardcover. So grab that for eBay also. Alien Planet, Fletcher Pratt. Nice vintage copy here. And this one is from 1962, originally written in 1932. So very cool. This is Ace book. Piers Anthony on a Pale Horse. This is book 1 of Incarnations of Immortality, and I actually don't have any of these, so I was very surprised to see this because usually I find a trillion, billion Piers Anthonys, and they're all Xanth novels and things like that. Agatha Christie, these usually do pretty good on both on Whatnot and eBay as well. And I also know some people are really into collecting Agatha Christie, but I did find a couple Agatha Christie's. Here's another one, and these are all like omnibus ones, or like this one has 5 novels in one. So that's pretty cool. And they're in decent shape. So I found a couple more Piers Anthony books. Apparently I'm finding all kinds of Piers Anthony, and I swore I wouldn't pick up Piers Anthony anymore because I have too many Piers Anthony, and Piers Anthony is just like everywhere under the sun. But maybe because I found that one book that's super rare, I just was like, oh, I better grab all the Piers Anthonys. But I found 2 hardcovers. Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, Hellhole Awakening. I don't think Brian Herbert and Kevin Anderson are like super good sellers, but this looked in really good shape, and I figured, hey, this might be a eBay or Whatnot kind of thing. It's not my intention to keep or collect that one. Wrinkle in Time. I have 10 million of these too. 10 million's the word of the day. I have a lot of these, but I don't have this hardcover copy, and this is really cool. It is a Newbery Medal winner. CJ Cherry, The Kiff Strikes Back. I have this in paperback. I haven't been collecting CJ Cherry. I have a lot of CJ Cherry, and I should probably start keeping some, or just at least putting them together. I don't know, because I find them so often. This one is another. I'm looking really quick to see which one it is. I think this is the first one. Yeah. So that other Hellhole one I found was the sequel to this one. So Brian Herbert, Kevin Anderson. So at least if I put these 2 together and bundle them, it should sell really well. Stephen King Revival. Just picked this up because I pick up everything Stephen King. I know I have this one. I also have the MP3 audio for this to go along with it. I bought it in a little bundle set from a bookstore for a couple bucks. Practical Guide to Dragon Riding. I don't know why I grabbed these. I just thought they were kind of cool looking. But they were all in a kind of a set. A Practical Guide to Wizardry. I don't know if they're good on anything eBay or Whatnot or what. If not anything else, maybe Bob's Books will want them. Practical Guide to Dragons. And then this one was pretty cool too. Dragonology book. So pretty slick. Full color kind of thing. Pop-ups. It's really cool. So those are kind of slick. I'm sure somebody will want them out there. And then one more Stephen King from a Buick 8. And I think I probably have like 4 of these hardcovers already, but I should stop grabbing those. And then I had never seen this one in hardcover, but it doesn't have a dust jacket. and it's Book of Lost Tales by J.R.R. Tolkien. So I went ahead and grabbed it. Someone will probably want it, even though it doesn't have the dust jacket. It is from, and this is part 1. It is from 1984. So, and that was it from that one Goodwill. So that's pretty crazy good haul from the Goodwill. I am going to go ahead and pack up my eBay stuff for the night and hopefully load stuff onto Whatnot for the next 2 shows. I doubt this will come out before then, but keep an eye out on Whatnot. Some of these books aren't going to make it onto that show, so they'll make it onto the next show. And check it out, Whatnot, The Vintage Viking, _vintage_Viking. And you can save the shows that are coming up. I try to put them out ahead of time. Sometimes it doesn't happen. They pop up quick. So keep your eyes open. I am constantly getting books, constantly trying to push them through onto Whatnot or eBay. So please check out the stores. If you want something that you see, you can always just message me direct and say, hey, I'd love every single copy of whatever Arthur C. Clarke you got, or whatever. I don't know. Like, hey, hook me up. So, and I'm down